YouTube. How we doing, family? It's your boy Yo, and this is another episode of Yo Hoops. We go through every NBA game every day. Today's Thursday, January 30th, and we have a 5-game NBA card. I'm gonna walk you through every game, let you know which sides I like the most, and I have one highlighted selection for today. I do this every day for free, so make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your favorite games in the comment section below. Without further ado, let me get into today's recap. Recapping yesterday, we went 1-1 on our highlighted plays of the day. Our first was the Brooklyn Nets plus 3.5 points against the Charlotte Hornets. That was the first game of the day. It was nice to get in the win column and build up the bankroll for the day. Nets ended up winning the game on the money line. Our next was the LA Clippers and San Antonio Spurs under 223. We dropped this one. It was atrocious to watch. I watched that game and it was flying over. I ended up doubling down on the under at 241 and it still went over. The Clippers traded in their defense for a bunch of 3-point shots. We dropped it, but hey, let's get back in that win column today. We're now 29-16 ATS on all highlighted plays, so we're still hitting at a 64% clip, but I hate losing, guys. So let's go get number 30 today. Without further ado, let me get into today's games. In our first matchup, we have the Los Angeles Lakers in Washington taking on the Washington Wizards. Lakers are laying 8.5 points, and the total is 223.5. The Lakers come into this meeting extremely banged up. When I look at their injury reports, Gabe Vincent, Dorian Finney-Smith, and LeBron James are all questionable. And then Jalen Hood-Schifino and Anthony Davis are ruled out. AD not playing for the Lakers is huge. On the Wizards side, Alex Sarr, Malcolm Brogdon, and Marvin Bagley III are all out, but those aren't new additions to the Wizards IR. The Wizards are on a back-to-back here, but they are a younger team, and it's not like they exerted a ton of energy yesterday against Toronto, just getting dog-walked by 30 points. They weren't necessarily putting full energy into that game. I told you guys, even though the Wizards are now 6-40 on the season, worst record in the league, they're not going to lose every game. And in my opinion, this is one of the only spots in the season where the Wizards have a chance to win this game outright. The Lakers are just 3-6-1 as road favorites. So they haven't been dominant and they haven't been making money in this spot. They've been susceptible to catching L's. I think the Wizards can win this game outright. We're taking the Wizards plus the 8.5 points and sprinkle on the money line as our first selection of today. Let's move. In our next matchup, we have the Atlanta Hawks in Cleveland taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs are laying 10 points and the total is 236.5. Cavs have been hooping at a high level again. We know they've been exceptional this season as home favorites. They're now 16-9 against the spread, but they also won in their last 2 meetings in dominant fashion. The injury reports are concerning for both sides in this matchup. When I look at the Cavs, they are on a back-to-back, so their injury report is tentative. They haven't updated it yet. But yesterday, they were without Darius Garland, Sam Merrill, Karis LeVert, Isaac Okoro, and Dean Wade all didn't play yesterday. And they are on a back-to-back here, like I was saying. That being said, they still beat the Pistons by 20 yesterday. So all those guys being out didn't play a factor on them. The Hawks are without Bogdan Bogdanovic, Clint Capella, and Jalen Johnson. And then Trae Young is probable in this spot. The Cavs have shown me that they can hoop banged up. I mean, think about the last month when they were playing without Mobley. They were still getting tons of ATS covers. I can't even trust the Hawks to hoop when they're healthy. So now banged up, I think they're in trouble. We're taking the Cavs laying the 10 points as our next selection of today. Let's move. In our next matchup, we have the Houston Rockets in Memphis taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies are laying 5 points and the total is 238. This is a heavyweight battle in 2025. The Grizzlies are the number 3 home team in the league. They're now 15-7 against the spread as home favorites. But the Rockets, also hoping, they're the number 3 road team in the league, now 6-2 against the spread as road underdogs. So hey, you've been cashing with both of these teams in this spot. This is a good game and it's going to be a fun one to watch. I'll definitely be tuned in, but I told you guys before, I trust Memphis at home. They're comfortable there and they cash at a high clip. Sengun is questionable for the Rockets in this spot, so keep an eye on if he plays. But even if he goes, I think with the Grizzlies back at full strength at home, they're able to cover this line. We're taking the Grizzlies laying the 5 points as our next selection of today. Let's move. In our next matchup, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves in Utah taking on the Utah Jazz. Wolves are laying 7 points, and the total is 225. Both of these teams have been mediocre in this spot. When I look at their ATS records, the Jazz are 8 and 10 as home underdogs, and the Timberwolves are 8 and 9 as road favorites. So, like I said, both middle of the pack. The thing for me in this game is the Jazz are getting healthier. Walker Kessler and John Collins are both questionable for this game, but the Jazz will have Jordan Clarkson, Lauri Markkanen, and Colin Sexton. So a lot of their core is going for this game. On the Minnesota side, Dante DiVincenzo is still out, and then Naz Reid is questionable. Definitely keep an eye on if Naz Reid plays, because if he doesn't, I have to take a look at Utah on the money line. I think the Timberwolves can win this game, but 7 points is too much for me to lay with a team that doesn't even cover at a 50% clip. Utah covered in their last game in Golden State against the Warriors, and I think they can stack another cover here. We're taking the Jazz plus the 7 points as our highlighted selection of today. Let's move. In our last and final matchup of the evening, we have the Orlando Magic in Portland taking on the Portland Trailblazers. Magic are laying 5 points, and the total is 213. In every Magic game, you guys know I automatically have to take a glance at the under. They're one of the bottom 5 offenses while being one of the top 5 defenses in the league. So that always sets you up, puts you in a good spot taking an under with them. Looking at the sides, though, the Blazers have covered against the spread in 6 games in a row. They've been hoping a little too much, in my opinion. The Magic had finally strung together a solid performance, beating the Pistons 2 games ago, but they reverted back to getting beat down by the Miami Heat in overtime of their last game. Didn't like what I saw. We know the Magic are getting healthy. Paolo Banchero is back. Franz Wagner is back. And then here, Jalen Suggs is questionable. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes. I'm not in love with this game, but I do believe Orlando's the better team. This is a spot where they should lock in and get a dominant win, a statement win against Portland. So we're taking the Magic, laying the 5 points as our last and final selection of today. And that's going to conclude today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I appreciate all the love and support. I've been seeing it, and it means so much to me. Let's go get win number 30 today and get back in that win column. I do this every day for free, so make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It's your boy, Yo! And until the next one, I'ma catch y'all. Peace.